On civic duties, I had experience with the Malvern School District. In 1966, when I lived in Long Island, the Board of Trustees of the school district established a committee of 80 to advise the school board on matters of public education. The committee included representatives from various organizations, churches, and associations. The pastor of our church, Our Lady of Lourdes Church, invited me and another neighbor to represent the church on the committee. We took our responsibilities very seriously. We did our homework, went to meetings, and studied issues facing the school board. When subcommittees were appointed, I was selected to head up a study group on funding. I met with the superintendent of schools and reported back to the committee on its impressive handling and pursuit of available funds for the district. Then, the Lewisboro Vista Civic Association. In the summer of 1973, I became interested in local affairs in the town of Lewisboro. I got involved with the Lewisboro Vista Civic Association and was eventually elected to its president. In the middle of the 1970s, the town was considering a proposal for a multifamily housing project in Oak Ridge, and we were primarily concerned about the large number of units proposed, the site density, and other building considerations. Our comments were aimed at the public hearing at a town board meeting in June 1979. The association also made recommendations for use of the Arnold Farm property and completed a review of the town development plan. Now, with the Lewisboro Housing and Community Development Committee, I felt a sense of pride by the town activity, and in '79 urged several neighbors and friends to run for a position the Lewisboro Town Board. I agreed to run for the position of town councilman, having developed a deep respect and admiration for the town supervisor, and as a natural continuation of my civic participation. The Republican and Conservative parties put me on their ballot list. I was walked just about every block in town, every mile in Lewisboro. We shook a lot of hands and met a lot of nice people, probably most of the 6,000 town residents. The campaigning paid off. I was elected and spent 4 years on the board, where I learned a lot about local politics. The Lewisboro Town Police Officer Unit was at risk of being dissolved in favor of coverage by the state and county. I wanted a local police force, and we succeeded in returning and revitalizing the force, an accomplishment for which I am particularly proud. I also want to control town board growth to preserve our open space and maintain the residential character of the town of Lewisboro. After serving my 4 years, I decided not to run again because of the time demand of my consulting practice. At my retirement ceremony, the town presented me with a gavel and an engraved plaque mounted on a walnut base. I look back with a deep appreciation of those days on the town board. Despite the hard work, it was a very rewarding experience, and I'm glad I did it. Carolyn has also been involved in several community activities. She has always been interested in history, and as a docent dressed in period costumes, she gave guided tours of the John J. Homestead in nearby Bedford. Today, 62 of the original 750 acres remain as New York State Historic Site. In the mid-1980s, Carolyn was asked to participate in Lewisboro's Arnold Farm Committee to evaluate and recommend use of the donated property. She subsequently served on the South Salem Library Board and eventually became chairman of the annual library fair, always a big fundraiser raising events in our town. In '94 and '95, Carolyn became president of the Hop Ground Garden Club, based in Bedford, and was approached by the director of the John J. to design and plant a courtyard garden in the rear entrance of the homestead, which the club still maintains. She later became the representative to the club landscape committee, raising funds through annual plant sales. Carol has taught religious education at St. Mary's of the Assumption in Katona and at St. Aloysius in New Canaan. She has participated in Bible study groups in St. Mary's and has served as a coordinator in Walking with Purpose Bible study program in St. Aloysius for several years. Carol is also coordinator of charitable activities for the Northern Star Quilt Guild in Somers, where she was the board member and vice president. As you can see, civic activities and community affairs have been an integral part of our lives. I encourage anyone who is interested to get involved in local town administration and management, which can be an effective means of citizen participation. I'm sure you'll find such activities extremely gratifying and a lot of fun. You can make a difference.